It is good to have you with us. The big-time television broadcast up and running for the... Oh, I should have known the date tonight, Tony. What is this, the 21st? 21st of February, 2013. And it is good to have you with us on the new koptv, the King of Prussia channel. My name is George Brewstar, alongside Tony Seligson with us. You may remember us if you were watching a couple of months ago, or maybe earlier today as we ran the replay. That show ran over and over again for a while, Tony.
Sure did.
It is a call-in show. This is the King of Prussia show. Ultimately, we're going to be doing this every Thursday night at the same time. I don't know when we'll be back. Maybe next week, maybe not. We'll figure that out as we go along. But we're here right now, and we're glad you're here with us. It is a call-in show. We are live. We are live on a Thursday night, live right now, unless you're watching the replay. So if it is Thursday night, and if it's about 7:03 on a Thursday night, you are watching us live right now. Our phone lines are open. If you remember us from 20 years ago, I doubt you do. Maybe you do. If you remember us from 20 years ago, the phone number is the same. 610-337-TALK. That's 610-337-8255. I think, Tony, back then it was 215 area code.
I think it was. Yes, you're
Come to
absolutely right,
think of it,
George.
I think it was 215 back then, right?
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Tony, it's good to have you with us, friend.
Good to see you too, my friend.
We did this, we had a Christmas show that we pre-recorded, and it ran over and over again on the channel, and people seemed to like it, so we're back. But this time we're live, and this is now closer to what we're ultimately going to be doing every week. The show for King of Prussia News, King of Prussia Comment, whatever. The show of record. But unlike some stodgy public affairs, municipal, nothing against the municipal township channel. I worked with them years ago in the school channels. They do a nice job with what they do. But what we do here is a little bit different. We don't want to waste too much time. We talked about the old channel last time. We don't need to do that again tonight. But this is a show. We're taking your calls. It's open forum. We have no guests tonight. It is open forum, so if you want to bring up something regarding King of Prussia or vicinity, Valley Forge perhaps, Bridgeport, Swedland, Swedesburg, Gulf Mills, Wayne, this is the place to do it. We're going to try to fill some time here. I'm not, if people call in, I think that's great, but I'm prepared, even if nobody shows up. We're prepared, Tony.
Yes, we are.
We are prepared.
We're in good hands with George.
A lot of things going on. I know many of you have checked out our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/koptv. You can look us up on the Facebook if you're into that. I think you don't even need to be on Facebook. You don't even need an account to look at the page, but you need to be on there to comment, I think.
That's right.
I think that's how that
That's
works.
correct.
So you can check us out, facebook.com/koptv. I know many of you have checked us out and liked us. We had a great week this week. Who would have thought just putting up a few photographs of the now mostly demolished lower level of the Valley Forge Shopping Center would get everyone talking, but I think it's great. People have been sharing their memories of the old Valley Forge Shopping Center. We can talk about that if you'd like to call in. Also, later on in the show, we're going to be giving away a $20 gift certificate tonight for your King of Prussia trivia knowledge to the first caller when we give out our, what most likely will ultimately be a weekly King of Prussia trivia question. A $20 gift certificate you can use at Astera Video Productions, and that's Tony's organization.
That's
Tony,
right.
our first sponsor, is what that means. It's really a trade deal, if you know what that means. But
Bartering.
It's a barter. But hey, $20 actually will get people some stuff.
Certainly will here.
At your studio, and you do all kinds of things, film to video transfers. If you've got a stack of
VHS tapes.
VHS videotapes, he'll burn them to the little discs for you. He does all of that. He even shoots events. You name it, if it involves video, he is involved with it. And the first $20 will be on him if you are the first person to call in with the correct answer to this week's King of Prussia trivia question, whenever we decide to do that, sometime in the hour. But the Valley Forge Shopping Center, Tony, have you noticed it's coming down? At least the lower level. The lower level is coming down. And a lot of memories in that place, It's
Yes,
been
we do. A lot of
50,
memories there.
50 years, more than that. A lot of businesses have been in and out of that shopping center,
Yep.
and we're getting a Target, which is exciting in
Yep.
its own way. A lot of people have wanted a Target in the area, but as
Create
I had
jobs is
said,
good.
yeah,
It's gonna create a lot of jobs.
A lot of jobs will be coming to King
Good
of Prussia.
opportunities.
But right now, as you drive down 202 toward our studio here, we're just within walking distance of the Valley Forge Shopping Center. But if you drive through between the Valley Forge Shopping Center demolition on one side, the new Wawa that's coming on the other side.
Yep.
Forgive me, folks. It looks like a war zone
I
right
agree.
now as you're driving
It really
through.
does.
I mean,
It looks
I
terrible.
realize it's temporary, and once it's all done, it's going to look really nice. But right now, it looks bad.
Looks awful.
That's just the way it goes. You can't really build something big without doing a little demolition. But yeah, it does look. It's not pretty right now. But I guess come this time next year, we'll have a Target on one side, a Super Wawa, hopefully with competitive gas prices on the other side.
And good hoagies.
All kinds of things that it's kind of sad, but it's true. When you get 85% of your meals, 85% I figured out of the food that I eat comes from a Wawa.
Oh my God.
And,
Wow.
hey, it is what it is. They're good at what they do.
They really are.
And to
They have a
folks,
great business model.
to folks outside the area, outside the Delaware Valley, a growing footprint Wawa has. They're in Florida now, in Orlando.
Oh, wow.
But you tell someone from the Midwest that we're going to Wawa, or we need to stop. We need to hit the Wawa on the way out, and they think you're going to the men's room. But really, it's quite the local phenomenon. I know folks on the other side of the Commonwealth, they're all about sheets.
Yep.
Sheets is the big deal on the other side of the state. But here, it's all about Wawa, and we're getting a Super Wawa right across the street from us here at our studio at the new KOP-TV. I believe the phone number is on the screen. Right? Yes, it is. The phone number is on
That's
the
good.
screen.
Oh, wow.
It is the same number that we had before, 337-TALK, 337-8255, waiting for your calls if you decide to call in. If you don't want to call in, that's fine. We'll just keep on talking, right? A lot of things, though, are changing in King of Prussia right now.
Yes,
I mean,
they are.
things that have always been changing in King of Prussia, but especially right now. Valley Forge Shopping Center, the lower levels coming down, Target's coming in. Wawa, we just talked about. They tore down the property that most recently was what, Petco?
Yes.
But most folks remember it as the Casa Maria. Before that, it was Valley Steakhouse. Probably something before that. What else was in there? Computer City
Yes.
was in there for a short time.
I remember.
A lot of things have been in there, but right now it's a big vacant lot. Also, though, news in the last few weeks, the Burger King, the iconic Burger King in King of Prussia, as well as the King of Prussia Veterinary Hospital next door, they'll be coming down. In fact, right now, at this very moment, the Upper Merion Board of Supervisors is holding the vote right now
Oh, wow.
to give the okay, and in all likelihood, they're going to give the okay. I think it'll be unanimous. There's been no real objection to it. That the Burger King and the Veterinary Hospital, the old white house that was Dr. Church's vet hospital for many, many years, going back to the 1950s, they're coming down too.
Wow.
And in their place will be a big Super Burger King.
Wow.
The big one, I think, with the playground for
Very
the
cool.
kids and the drive-through. Now, I can't eat fast food anymore, but when I did, I ate a lot of it. I wish that had been around when I was eating the fast food, You still eat the fast food from time to time, right?
Oh no, I'm a healthy
No.
guy now.
Wow. Both of us.
I eat healthy now. As we
Both
get
of
older,
us.
you are what you eat.
Wow.
So
Well, they're within reason. I suppose it's okay to eat within reason this
Yes.
stuff, but the folks who eat this,
breakfast,
three
lunch, and dinner
meals
there
a
all
day,
the
it
time.
becomes
That's not-
problematic. Then again, I just got done saying I eat 85% of my meals at Wawa, but that's, I think, better than eating a stack of Big Macs every
I
day.
totally agree.
That's what I used to do. But the new restaurant, the new Burger King, will have a drive-in.
Very cool.
Now, you remember, Tony, here I go again talking about the old channel. This was a big, big pet peeve of mine. Remember back in the 80s and 90s, because Upper Merion had a de facto ban on drive-through restaurants for
that's
many
correct.
years by
Why
statute.
is that?
Well, the reason that was given at the time was because it would, as the supervisors at the time put it, disrupt traffic patterns, which I always thought was a whole bunch of bunk. But we had, and we had Supervisor Volpe at the time and a few others who had implemented
our
that.
show.
He was on the show back in the 70s. Had implemented that. He implemented it in the 70s. Our show wasn't in the 70s, and we did talk about that head
Yes.
on.
Yep.
And Supervisor Volpe was Ralph Volpe. This is not Chuck Volpe. There were two Supervisor Volpes. Had compelling reasons that he gave for it. I personally disagreed with them, but they were on the books for a long time. They may still be on the books.
Okay.
There was not an outright ban that said you can't have a drive-through. What it said was if you wanted a drive-through restaurant in Upper Merion, the property size had to be X number of acres, like an acre and a half, and we all know that, well, I don't remember what the exact acreage was, but whatever it was something unreasonable, and it was something that everyone pretty much knew. There were no properties of that size. So the existing McDonald's at the time, which is now Geno's, and the existing Burger King that'll soon be coming down, could not put in a drive-through because of those ordinances. When Wendy's came in, Wendy's, I guess, used a loophole, I think, because they are in the shopping center on Henderson Road.
Okay.
The footprint of the shopping center is much bigger, and they were able to do that.
Right.
So Wendy's opens up a drive-through, and guess what? The sun still came up the next day. If you have a drive-through in King of Prussia, it might lead to traffic in King of Prussia. Could you imagine traffic being in King of Prussia? Well,
God forbid.
yeah. I mean, who could ever imagine that? With all the traffic in King of Prussia, a few people eating a stack of greasy cheeseburgers, I don't think was going to make that much of a difference. So McDonald's moves, has a drive-through for many years now, and everything was fine. So Burger King was at a big disadvantage because they didn't have the drive-through. So in all likelihood, they will. And those of you people who like to eat the fast food, you are in luck. Dunkin' Donuts has also put in a drive-through,
Yes.
although that's a small property. So
Yes.
I don't know how they were able to pull that off. But whatever, everyone will have a drive-through now. So you'll be able to get your bacon double cheeseburger and your Whopper, what did I used to eat? The Whopper Junior without pickles and without ketchup. Because
And mayo.
No, I like the mayo.
Oh, you like mayo?
The
Okay.
ketchup would give me a heartburn. So I would get the Whopper Juniors to create the false fiction in my mind that I was actually doing something for my health. Instead of eating the full Whopper, I was getting the Whopper Junior. Of course, when you get 3 of them, it kind of negates the whole thing. It is a call-in show, 610-337-TALK. I need to get into the habit of looking at the little light because I've been looking into the camera
I'll keep an eye out for
and
you.
looking at you, and I forgot to look at the little light. We have a ringer, but we turned the ringer off because, that wouldn't be very professional. I don't know. Abe, do you think that'll be professional? Abe Holtz is behind the scenes. I
Man,
felt
Good
awful,
guy.
back in December. Abe did all kinds of stuff for us for our Christmas show, and I neglected to acknowledge him on the show.
okay.
Very embarrassing. I felt very upset. Remember I called you the next day?
Yes.
I said, please tell Abe I'm sorry. I said, I felt awful, so. And then I mentioned it to you, Abe, afterward, a few days later, and you
He's a genius. He's a
you
man.
pretended like it didn't bother you, but I know deep down inside,
He's still hurting.
I mentioned everybody else I've ever met in my life, and then the guy who put the whole show on the air, awful. But anyway, Abe is here with us. Thank you, Abe. 337-TALK, 337-8255. It's area 610. I need to remember that. You can't just dial, before you could just dial 337-TALK and,
Yep.
you'd get through to us, but now you have to dial the 610. Whatever. Little light is not blinking, so we can keep talking. We can keep talking. My timer just timed out, did it? 7:16 on the new KOP TV. I didn't get the weather forecast tonight. It doesn't matter, really.
It's cold outside.
It's cold
It's
out.
freezing. It's winter
not.
time.
It's not snowing. It's not raining. It's cold. There's a little bit of wind. Film at
warmer
11.
here, though.
All right. So So Burger King is coming down. Chili's is going to be coming down in all likelihood.
Oh, wow.
Chili's has
Great
applied
place.
to what Chili's wants to do is tear down the existing building, and they want to rebuild a new Chili's on the property. The new Chili's will actually be smaller. Now, where have you ever heard of that? They
That's
are
weird.
asking to build a smaller restaurant. I guess the current restaurant is bigger than they need it to be,
Okay.
but it is my understanding that the way the business goes, I guess the chain, I guess it's a company
Franchise.
O&O. It's not an actual franchise. I guess it's an owned and operated location. And corporate wants everything, if I understand this correctly, corporate wants everything to be cookie cutter. Dare I use that term? That to say something is cookie cutter generally has it's a pejorative. You know, it's got a negative connotation
Connotation
to
to
it. Exactly. But they want all of the restaurants to be exactly the same. You walk in this door and you could be at the Chili's in King of Prussia, the Chili's in I don't know, wherever else there is a Chili's in, you know,
Wayne, you
upstate
think?
Michigan, wherever. Doesn't matter. You could be in California. You walk in the front door, the men's room is there, the bar is there, the seats are there. So I guess they want all of the restaurants to be the same. So they've applied, and in all likelihood that will also go through to tear down the Chili's and put up a new restaurant. And it's my understanding they want to reuse some of the walls, but I don't see how they're going to be able to stay open through that. So if you frequent the King of Prussia Chili's, you'll have to go to Wayne or, you know, brown bag it for a day or a few months. So that, I think, is going to be voted on. I think they're going to be presenting that tonight over at the Board of Supervisors meeting. A few questions I'd like to address that came through on the Facebook, and we invite you to like us on the Facebook if you're into that. If you are on the Facebook, like us. Many people have looked at the page, they've commented on the page, and that's wonderful, but they haven't clicked the tiny like button. So what are we up to right now? And we're monitoring it right now. I'm looking at it right now. We're monitoring it right now. So
193.
I'll see 193 people, which doesn't sound like a lot. And in Facebook terms, that's a drop in the bucket. But we were at like 80 a week ago. So
Yep.
Thanks to all of you nice people who have checked us out. We shall try not to disappoint you as much as we may have intended to. But we hope to be the one-stop place for all things King of Prussia news, entertainment. I realize this is not very entertaining right now, but I vow it's coming. Might not be from me, but it's coming. We know people.
Yeah, we
if
do.
you saw the Christmas show,
We have a lot of characters.
We know some people. You know, we'll make a few phone calls. We know people. So it'll be coming, hopefully. In all likelihood, it will be coming. I've got to also break this habit of checking the computer while I'm on TV. I did radio for so long, I'm used to being able to just do whatever I want. And, you know, look all over the place, look down at my notes, scratch, do all kinds of things. Can't do that anymore. You know, got the big eye zooming in right
Magnifying glass on you.
now. Yes. I know many of you have been watching in on some of the things we've been running, mostly the replay of the Christmas show, an hour of show that they played over and over, and you figure 168 hours in a week, and played for 7 or 8 weeks, so it got a lot of exposure, but a lot of people said they liked it, so we appreciated you checking in. Also, public domain theater we ran for a little while, vintage shows, mostly in black and white. We had a few shows from the Dumont TV network that are no longer under copyright protection. I was watching the game show. What was the one we ran? Down You Go, I think we ran.
Yep, that's right.
A few episodes of Dick Van Dyke that fell into the public domain somehow. So those of you who are enjoying the same 4 episodes of Dick Van Dyke that ran over and over again, glad you enjoyed that. Ozzie and Harriet, I think we had a few episodes of, and I believe a couple of episodes of Bonanza that fell into the public domain. So that was public domain theater. If you like that sort of thing, Lucy, we had the Lucy show. That one was in color.
That was
You know,
very
that
good.
one was in,
Classic.
that was in color. So if you like that, you drop us a line. George at koptv.com, I think. Is that it? Tony at KO. I should have
That's
known
right.
that. So you reach out and touch us. 337-TALK. To younger people, they think that sounds perverted. That used to be the Bell telephone. Was it Bell telephone or was
Verizon
it AT&T? Which one was it, Abe? You remember? Reach out and touch someone. That was their slogan. Pick up the phone,
Yep.
reach out and touch someone.
I think it was Bell.
Okay, so it was Bell telephone. Well, the younger people, they reach out and touch us.
all
That
this
sound,
now.
yeah, but it sounds
It's all about
kind of creepy. We don't want that. It is a call-in show, 610-337-TALK. That is 610-337-8255. That's something else, Tony. At your wine and dine event that you held here.
A wine and cheese event, yes.
I'm sorry, wine and cheese. What did I say?
Wine and dine.
Well, you had pizza,
We
right?
did. We had beer. We had food.
You had
we
pizza, yeah. So
Yeah,
it could be wine and dine.
Yeah, we had some cheese
know?
and we had hors d'oeuvres and.
Tony had a networking event here at the studio about a month ago, and some folks were saying, you know, when you give out the phone number, was it you, Abe? Who was it who said, did we have this conversation, Abe, about how I have to give out the numeric numbers when I give out the phone number because some of the new phones don't have the letters on the phones anymore? So it's 337-8255, which doesn't sound to be as sexy of a phone number as 337 Talk. We paid all this money to get the fancy phone number, and now it's meaningless. But that way you remember it, 337-8255, 610-337 Talk. The little light still not blinking. We continue speaking. We need to take a break at some point, don't we? I was told at the bottom of the hour we still have, what?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. We have 10 minutes to go. 7:23 on the new KOP TV. I like giving out the time check. Makes me feel like I'm
Important.
Mr. Broadcaster, morning radio or something. Well, we can go a little step farther. 7:23 on the new KOP TV, 34 degrees according to the mobile device. I would like to know, though, if you're watching, you know, one of the things we used to do on the old channel, if people were afraid to call in because they say, I don't want my voice on the air. You know, some people are shy. They don't want to be on the air. Remember what we used to do? We used to say, call in and hang up on us, just so we know you're out there, right? Remember that?
I remember that, yes.
And the phone would ring once or twice, and we vowed not to answer it, unless you just kept ringing it over and over again, because then you're tying up the lines for other people. So why don't we do that? I told everyone, I said, don't expect many calls for the live show. Most people don't even know we're doing this. But, like the Christmas show, it will play over and over and over and over again. So why don't we do it, 610-337-8255. If you want to call, ring it a couple of times and hang up, that's fine. You watch the little blinking light, and you let us know if anyone is calling in. I would be curious to know, on what device are you watching the big time television broadcast tonight? Are you watching us on your desktop computer? Are you watching us on your
iPhone?
Your iPhone. I want to talk about that. Remind me. Talk about the iPhone in a moment. There are some problems with the
I'll
Apple.
remind you.
The Apple people are saying they're having some trouble. Are you watching us on a laptop computer? Are you watching? What is it, Abe? Just say it. It's okay. We have an audio situation. We can't have that. My voice must be clear. So we'll take a short break. We'll come right back with improved sound in a moment. Stay with us. I believe our audio situation has been corrected, so we appreciate your tuning in. Tony just had a good idea during the break. He said, you know, we're giving out the phone numbers. That's great, but it's kind of old school. So we should also be pushing the Facebook. I think I did mention it at the beginning, but let's say it again. On the Facebook, we are monitoring the Facebook page right now at facebook.com/KOPTV. You can get to it, though, directly by clicking a blue button on the stagnant, somewhat embarrassing koptv.com website. And before I appear to be a bully in some folks' eyes, he's ripping his webmaster on the TV. That would be me, so it's okay. I did want to talk for a bit about the website. Some of you have noticed that the website has been frozen in time since October. There's a good reason for that. We've locked ourselves out of it and we can't get back into it. So that situation will be going away in the near future. An all-new website is coming. You don't even know about this, Tony.
Cool. Wow, right,
You don't even know
I'm
about
excited.
this. A new website at koptv.com will be coming. Hopefully in a few weeks it will be here. But for the meantime, the old one is still up. And the links are still there to get to this feed that you're watching right now and to the Facebook page. So we're monitoring the Facebook page. We don't have tonight a hit counter. Now, ultimately, we'll have a hit counter where we'll be able to see the graph on the screen as to how many people are tuned in, but we don't have that active right now. So there could be a ton of people watching. There could be nobody watching. We don't know. You could be watching on the replay right now, and that's fine. But we'd like you to check in on the Facebook page and just say hi. Let us know you're watching us live here on the new KOP TV. But the phone number is 337-TALK if you'd like to call in. I would really like it if someone called in, but whatever. What were we speaking about? Oh yes, questions from some of the folks that we had this week on the page and directly to us on the private messages that come through on the Facebook. If you have a question or a comment for us that you don't want the 193 people to see, that's fine. Actually, it's an infinite number of people because you don't need to like the page to see the comments. You can send us a direct message. I'll do my best to get back to as many of you as I can. One of the questions, though, several folks had asked this question in the past few weeks. On what channel can we watch you on Verizon Fios? And on what channel on the Comcast Xfinity? That would be on Verizon Channel 0, on Xfinity Channel 0. There is no Channel 0, is there? We're hoping that it'll be coming, but right now, at the present time, the only way you can see us is the way you're seeing us right now, through our video feed at koptv.com, and for good reason. As you know, this is our first live telecast, and as I just said, we were rerunning the same 2 or 3 shows over and over again for 2 months. Now, I can't exactly fault Verizon or Comcast for not wanting to carry a channel that is running 1 hour over and over again. Once we start cranking out amazing programming, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But we have not even formally applied. We've discussed a few things off record, but we have not formally applied to be carried by anyone because we're just not ready yet. We're not quite there yet. So that is the short, perhaps long-winded answer. I thought it was a short answer. For me, that was a short answer. The answer to that question, at the present time, we are not being carried on any of the services. It is my hope that in the future it will be coming. But until we have some more shows to bring to you, we'll only be seen this way. And that's fine with me. That's fine with me. You know, the old channel was on cable. And the cable company was the ultimate gatekeeper as to what went out on the air. We had our programming and we sent the programming up the line, but they don't like what we say and they flip one switch and it's curtains for George and Tony. So I kind of like not having a gatekeeper. Not that that really ever happened, but I guess it could have happened. Very controversial we are, talking about drive-through fast food restaurants and the like. But another question that some of you have asked, let's see here, the local politics and local, we did get a little controversial with some things. We're staying away from that in the very beginning. Oh, trust me, it's coming. It's coming. But the first few weeks, we're going to try to stay heavy on the light and light on the heavy for the first few weeks. We don't want to upset everybody right out of the gates. It'll happen. It'll happen eventually, I'm sure. And speaking of local politics, Tony, we do have a school board race, a few school board races coming up in the next couple of months. And when that happens, we'll be on top of it because we are the King of Prussia channel. I'm not sure I should know this. Very embarrassed I am for not having the answer, but we may have, do we have a Board of Supervisors race this year? We may not. I'm not sure. We may have 1 or 2. It's an odd-numbered year, so I figured maybe we did. Very embarrassing. To think I used to be the mayor of King of Prussia, I don't even know this. So we'll get to the bottom of that, too. You chime in. You feel free to tell us at 337-TALK. You idiot, such and such is running for re-election. You didn't know that? You call yourself the King of Prussia media? I do know, though, that there are some school board races going on, or about to be going on. And here in Upper Merion, and in most school districts in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the real school board races happen in the spring. They happen during the primaries. Now, personally, I've always been against this. I think it should be challenged in court. But right now, it is what it is. In Pennsylvania, we have a thing called cross-filing. And cross-filing, something we talked about a lot on the old show. Cross-filing basically means that if you're running for school board, district justice, and a few other posts in Pennsylvania, you can cross-file as both a Republican and a Democrat, which means you go in, if you're voting, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you go into the polls for the primary, and you vote for your candidate of choice. Here's where the problem comes in. Not everybody is a Republican or a Democrat. At last check, 13% of the electorate in Upper Merion Township was either a third party, libertarian,
Tea Party,
whatever else, or just an independent, no party affiliation. And here's where the trouble comes in, Tony. When you have, let's say you've got 3 candidates running for one school board seat. They all cross-file. One candidate wins both the Democrat and the Republican primaries, okay? Then you've got an independent, you've got a libertarian, you've got a constitutional party voter, one of the 13%. He or she cannot vote in the primaries, right?
right?
So he or she votes in November. Well, what happens when he or she goes into the polling booth in November? For school board, you can vote for Tony Seligson, the Republican, or Tony Seligson, the Democrat. Well, sounds like something out of a tyrannical regime.
Yes.
You can vote for A or A. You know, isn't that what Saddam Hussein did?
Yes.
He had free elections. You vote for Saddam or you vote for Saddam. You know, write-in vote, execution. Now there he goes again. He's comparing Upper Merion School Board to Saddam Hussein. Well, a little bit, yes. So, you know, I can't help myself sometimes. So those races will be coming. I'm not saying anyone running for school board is a Hussein. See, this is how rumors get started. I get ready for the Facebook to start popping up. You know, all these messages. You know, he's already at it again. But in all seriousness, that will be something we'll be covering here, and I'll be covering it objectively like a broadcast professional. And I vow to have anyone on who's running on the show, and I promise not to compare you to any dictator. All right? Most people, school board director is an unpaid position. And most people, not all, but most people who run for and serve on any school board are doing it for civic purposes. I do
Civic
believe that.
duties.
Right. I mean, it's not like there's any salary involved. They're trying to make a difference, and
They care about
yeah,
the
right,
education
right.
system.
Give back to the community, and that's to be commended there. Did I dig myself out of that Saddam comment?
That was very good. Good job, George.
Thank you. I also feel that way about while the township supervisors in Pennsylvania townships do get a small, I guess, would you call it a salary? I think it's, what is it, like $1,200 a year? I mean, it's not really, I don't know if you could call it a salary, more like a stipend. But at least they are paid something. But it pales in comparison to the number of hours that go into that. And township supervisor, and in larger townships like Lower Merion, they're called township commissioners, a very thankless job. Most of these are very, very thankless jobs. Now, some folks have found a way to parlay this, just like most congressmen and senators. You know, you see these congressmen and senators, they win these elections. They've got maybe 50 grand in the bank. They serve a couple of terms, making a halfway decent salary, what, 125,000 a year, and they end up millionaires after a few years. You know, it makes you wonder. You ever notice that?
I've noticed that. Very
You get a few congressmen, middle class, very average guys, maybe upper middle class. They leave office after a few terms, and then they're set for life. So some folks on the local level are able to parlay that political celebrity and influence into something that will be more lucrative. And as long as it's ethical, and often it's not, but a lot of times it is, as long as it's ethical, I don't have a problem with it. I'd like to see if we could parlay this celebrity into something that will
That'd be good.
generate a lot of revenue. You know, you let us know if you have any ideas. Chime in, or I hate this, as the kids would say, hit us up on the Facebook. I can't even talk like this with a straight face. On the Facebook.
Or tweet us.
Yeah, we don't have the Twitter thing going yet. Do we need that?
Yes, we do. We definitely do, George.
So now I've got to get the
Social media's where it's at.
So we need to get the Twitter. We already have the Facebook. What else? The MySpace. That's dead, right? They're not doing
LinkedIn.
that. LinkedIn. We need a LinkedIn. Can you be in charge of this stuff?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. You want to get me? You send me a letter. Are they doing away with the Saturday mail? I heard they were, and then they said they weren't, and then a few weeks ago they said they were, and now I'm hearing they're not again. What's going on with that?
I have no idea.
Do you look forward to mail on Saturdays?
It's convenient.
Really?
It's convenient for me, to be able to send in, check my P.O. box and also send mail.
Well, I believe, though, regardless of what happens with Saturday delivery, the post office will remain open for you to check your box the same number of hours that it is now. They're just not going to. Here I'm going offending the postman now. The men in the little wool pants aren't going to be coming to your house. It's okay. I have friends who are postal delivery people. It's okay. It's like people who make fun of a race or an ethnicity and they say, it's okay. I have many friends who look like Tony. It's okay. They're just not going to deliver to your house or your business on Saturday. But would that really be an inconvenience for you? I don't think it would really affect that many people. Do you? You do.
Well, the post office is broke, so they have to do something.
Right, they've got to do something.
Their business model's not working the way it is,
No,
so they have to change their time. So,
maybe they should reinstitute the Pony Express and charge a large amount of money just to see. Because you think about this. See, I should be a consultant. See, this is what you do. Okay, Postmaster General is watching. I just heard from him on the Facebook. You restart the Pony Express, you charge $10 a stamp, and you can deliver the mail and give pony rides at the same time to the kids, and you charge for the pony rides, photo ops and stuff. Kids love ponies.
That's true, especially girls, especially young girls.
Little girl, I have a 6-year-old. Kids love ponies. There you go. Pony Express is back. You mean to tell me that you see a postman riding a horse up DeKalb Pike with a bunch of kids being pulled by one of those tram cars like on the Wildwood Boardwalk? Watch the tram car, please. You mean to tell me people aren't going to take notice and pony up $10 to say, by the way, while you're at it, could you get this to the other side of King of Prussia? Here's $10. I think it would work. All right, so Tony is bummed out about mail delivery going away on Saturdays?
I'm not bummed out. I mean, it's
ruining your life?
It's not going to ruin my life,
Okay.
no. It doesn't affect me one way or the other. I mean, it's...
I say if it keeps the post office this much closer from bankruptcy, I say go. Well, they're already bankrupt, right?
Yeah, they're already in the
All
hole
right.
big
If
time.
it buys them another 6 months, I say go for it. You can kill Monday and Friday too, and Wednesday, whatever other day. But every time I check the mail, it's nothing but junk mail.
It's true.
I do everything, and I am not. You just heard me making fun of the Twitter and so forth. I'm not the most technologically savvy person in the world. I don't embrace new technology as much as I should. I brought over some video equipment tonight before the broadcast that you and Abe were looking at and just saying, my God, I haven't seen one of these in 20 years. What did I ask you about archiving the show earlier this week? I said, should I bring my VHS, remember?
Yes.
And there was this sound of total disgust in Tony's voice. It was on the telephone. He said, VHS.
Well, it's insulting.
It's insulting. Tony's big-time video production magnate in King of Prussia, and here I am saying, can I bring in VHS to his palatial, video headquarters? The only VHS that's allowed is if you have home movies and you want Tony to digitize them and put them on a different form of media, then VHS is allowed.
That's correct. That's what I did.
People still bring you Super 8 film.
Yes.
People still bring you all kinds of things. Wire recordings from the First World War. No, they don't bring the
old record, old
cylinders,
records and cassettes and reel-to-reel tapes and all kinds of media in different formats.
So whatever you've got, and that's for audio as well then, I guess,
Yes.
right? If it's audio.
Audio, visual, photos.
Tie's crooked. Abe, you're supposed to
Memories.
tell me. Has my tie been crooked all night? Sorry, that's on me. That's what he says. That's on me.
You look good, George.
Thank you, as do you. I'm obliged now to say you look good, and you look good, Abe, too.
Well,
Because if I
you're
don't, then
working
the people watching are going to be like, they just complimented him, and he didn't return the compliment. That's the kind of show. That's the kind of show this is going to be. 337-TALK, 610-337-8255. Silly time check, 7:44 on the new KOP TV. Down to 33 degrees. It's getting colder around here now. That tends to happen in the wintertime. We've got, did the little, the rat, Punxsutawney, whatever, did he say we were getting a few more weeks of cold weather?
He said it was going to be an early spring.
Early spring? What's his track record? He's batting about 50%, right? 48%.
Actually, Abe and I met him many, many years ago.
You met the weasel?
Shoot.
It was actually his great-great-grandfather.
The great-great-grandfather. We had a video shoot in 1996.
Wait. You're talking about the animal.
Yes.
I've never heard anyone refer to an animal and say, we met
Well,
the
we
animal.
went to the cage. And
Did you shake his hand? Did he sign an autograph for you? What?
We knocked in the window and we
intimidated him.
We intimidated him. He was.
Nothing's rabid though, right? Did it bite you?
No, he was pretty cool. I mean, it was something, you know.
Groundhog. I couldn't think of the word. Groundhog.
That was a fun experience. We had a fun trip on that.
It's still a rodent, right? Groundhog is a rodent. You know. So you met the most famous. What about Gus, the second most famous groundhog? That obnoxious weasel on the lottery commercials. Is he still being used?
Still waiting for my winnings.
Is he still being used? They're still.
I'm sure he is.
I know it's not Christmas anymore, but am I the only one to have made the observation that the Pennsylvania lottery has been using the same Christmas TV commercial for like 25 years?
That's right.
Am I the only one who's noticed this? Abe, Abe is nodding his head. He's noticed
They're
this.
getting a bang for their buck.
Yeah.
They should be hiring us to make a new commercial.
I have a feeling, I shouldn't even say this, I'll bet half the people in that spot are deceased by now.
So is Gus.
Is that what happened to Gus?
Well, after he met us.
I thought someone clubbed him on the head or something.
Oh, that was him.
Tony would do that too. Tony's one of these guys. You'll get to know Tony, and, you know, unless you can help
That's
it.
why he can't prognosticate correctly anymore.
Tony's one of these guys. He's not afraid of anything, right? I mean, Abe, you've noticed that, right? Tony's not afraid of anything.
You're
He
right.
he skis.
Scout.
He bungee jumps.
Kayak,
Sky dives.
When he should be a couch potato.
Yeah, he's
Jumps
not
off
afraid
cliffs
of
in
anything.
Hawaii.
What else? You've jumped off a cliff. When someone says, go jump off a cliff, Tony's like, oh, okay. And then
no problem, let's do
he
it.
does it, and he emerges without a scratch.
He bounces.
He bounces.
That's right.
It's like- I go up on the roof of my one-story ranch to put up an antenna. I feel like I'm about to kill myself. You're diving off cliffs. It's amazing.
It's a talent.
But so I'm not surprised that you went right up to a rabid rodent and
Yes.
antagonized the
Yes.
thing. Well, that's why it came out of its little hole.
I rattled him.
Yeah. Tony was just trying to get some warm weather, so
Exactly.
He
No
was
one's.
just lonely.
he could go kayaking on the Brandywine River or wherever it is he goes. 337-TALK. Don't you want to join in on this? 337-TALK. Let's take a look and see what some of the folks are saying. And my calculations were correct. At the present time, there is no activity. That's fine. Now, see, if we had a program director or general manager, if it weren't me, this is when I would be getting yelled at. Now, George, you can't make reference to the fact that nobody's watching. You need to create the illusion that people are watching.
Smoke and mirrors.
That's why I don't, that's why I work for myself now. I just
You're self-employed.
do what I want now,
A
Hell,
little makeup couldn't hurt.
No, that's another thing too. Have you noticed? I'm not wearing makeup anymore.
That's the reason.
And yes, everyone's saying, yes, George, we have noticed. This stuff was messing my my skin. Have you noticed my skin is so much smoother now than it was even back then? Even in my advanced age? I stopped putting all that crap on my face. Remember Channel 7, I'd walk around with all kinds of stuff. A hot summer day, starts dripping down. It's disgusting. I can't work like that. I don't know how does Jim Gardner and the other guys do? Who else is on? I won't watch Philadelphia TV news anymore, so I don't even know who's on. I'm assuming Jim Gardner is still on. Ray is saying yes. He was on 30, 40 years ago,
I
so
believe he's still alive.
I'm sure he's still
That's
on.
good.
Well, Channel 6 has this reputation for not changing anything. Now, it's not true. They've actually changed a lot in the last few years. But Channel 6, that was the old joke. When Gardner kicks it, they're going to do like a weekend at Bernie's and wheel him back onto the set
They
and
haven't done that yet?
and have him on. That's my apologies if the Jim Gardner people are watching. But actually, that's a testament to how good you are, Jim. Oh, I should just stop now, right?
Yeah.
I should just stop now. It's getting bad. It's getting bad. A few more minutes we have, and a ton of things I wanted to talk about that I haven't even started. So let's get to it. All right, I needed to address the viewer mail. So did I address that? The iPhone situation that you were supposed to remind me of. It's my understanding that some of the Apple people have been having trouble viewing our telecast. So first off, I would like to apologize ahead of time for that. I don't understand what the situation is. I have a telephone call into our server provider. Is it server?
ISP.
No, it's not quite the ISP. The ISP is Verizon. They're fine.
Okay.
The problem, I think, is on the end in Canada.
Okay.
If you're watching this right now, and according to this, you're not. I'm sorry. If you're watching this, well, no, you're watching on the replay. When you're watching this right now, you're watching this in King of Prussia. You're watching this in Bridgeport Valley Forge, a few miles down the road. We're just maybe a half mile away from you. But this is really neat, though, Tony, because we're sitting here at 202 in Henderson in King of Prussia. And this signal is on our outbound server that you can't see, is going from 202 in Henderson in King of Prussia to I'm told some boiler room somewhere, I think in New York. From there, it goes to Canada. And then from Canada, it is redistributed to all the people watching. So to make that trip from 202 in Henderson to wherever you're watching, perhaps only a half mile away, we're going to Canada and back.
Okay.
Which is pretty neat,
Very cool.
So
Internet, baby.
the Apple problem is somewhere in between here and where Ottawa, I guess. So we'll try to get to the bottom of it. On the Android device, it's fine because that's what I have. It seems that my people keep telling me that Apple is only 22% of the market, so don't worry about. Now, 22% is a lot of people, but we're still being seen in 78%. But Apple is only 22% of the market, yet everybody I know has the Apple iPhone. Now, what is it? Do I just know a lot of Apple people, or is the research that I'm getting incorrect?
I think the research you're getting incorrect.
I think it's the former. You think it's the latter. We'll see. You let us know. Chime in on the Facebook at facebook.com/KOPTV, or better yet, 337-8255 is our telephone number. So that's the Apple situation. Another question we've gotten a lot. The set-top box that some folks have asked about, how do we watch KOPTV on the set-top box? I know it can be done. I know it is being done by some folks. I have not yet personally done it. I know there are about a dozen different set-top boxes now available. A year ago, there were only two. There was the Roku and one other one. I went to Walmart a few weeks ago. I'm not a big fan of the Walmart, but I go there when I have to, if it's 3:30 in the morning and I need something. And I wandered back in the back of the King of Prussia Walmart. I mean, in the public area. I didn't wander into the employee area. But in the public area, Tony, they have 10 or 11 different set-top boxes for watching the internet streams on your regular TV.
Wow. Amazing.
So I know some of them are compatible with our feed and some are not. So let me do some research and find out which ones work. And once we find the best one that gives you the most bang for your buck, really we care about KOPTV, but if you can watch other stuff out there, that's good too. After all, we're only doing one show a week right now. Then we'll recommend the right one and we'll push it and sell hundreds of units and get no commission whatsoever. So that's the status of that. Check our Facebook page for more updates as we run tests on that, the set-top box situation. Another question some folks have been asking, are we hiring? Where's the laugh track? This is where, some of the vintage sitcoms didn't actually have an audience. They just had a button of canned laughter. Are we hiring? We are, how shall I put this? We are always interested in hearing from folks who would like to become involved.
Volunteer.
Well, I didn't use the V word. I was trying to avoid using that word. But yes, if you would like to become involved, if you feel you have something to offer, we definitely would like to speak with you. And if you think your show, or whatever it is you do, your content is that good that we can sell it, then, you know, you might end up with a few coins in your pocket. And in all seriousness, believe it or not, this is a business. So we shall be acquiring advertisers. I'm not laughing at that notion. I'm just laughing at the fact that I had to tell people this was a business, because sometimes, you know, some of the things I've been involved with have bared a striking resemblance to a public access channel, but not here. I hope you're enjoying the 3-chip camera. Abe, this is a 3-chip camera, right? It's a 4-chip camera. I thought there was no such thing. That's, I mean, we're not skimping on the stuff, you know. Abe doesn't mess around.
High-def equipment, baby.
Now, we're not actually in high definition, though, right? Our feed is not.
No.
We don't have the, even if we had the cameras, our feed is not capable of, at the present time. Maybe in 4 years that could be different, but right now, you're just going to have to see us. At least we're in color. We're in color. You know, we're not like the Munsters. Well, we are in a way, but if you would like to be a host, a guest, we would like to speak with you. So you can find us at koptv.com. The general email address is info@koptv.com. That's easy to remember. That will get to me. I would give out my personal address, but it's difficult to spell. So just send it to info@koptv.com. We would like to hear from you. Last night we heard from Bumper Howard last night. Did you see that?
Bumper Howard.
So hopefully we'll be
blast from the past.
talking with him about doing a show perhaps in the near future as well. I would like to get, you know, ultimately this show is going to be on every Thursday night, right? Ultimately, I would like to find someone to host this show. That would really be neat. Quite frankly, I don't want to do it. So if anyone else wants to host this show, I'm just keeping the seat and the transmitter warm while we do it. Yeah, now watch the calls come in, right?
Exactly.
So yeah,
Bing.
if you think you can do this better, and chances are you can, I think you should let us know, because we would like to have a decent show. You've got to have some personality, a little bit. This is not a public affairs channel. This is not a municipal channel. This is a for-profit, well, it will be, enterprise. So eventually,
It's all about content.
Astera Film and Video is an equal opportunity employer, but it's right now a, Tony used the V word, and that's kind of the way it'll be for the time being. But hey, we'll talk. I'm all about revenue sharing. If it works for the NFL, you know, I'm all for it, because they've got a successful business
Certainly
model. It's a very, dare I say, it's a very socialist business model, but it seems to work for them. So, you know, well, I mean, come on, you've got all the teams. It doesn't matter what team it is. They share the revenue, and they throw all the revenue into a big pot, and they cut it all up, and you know.
Yep.
Just never thought
Big
about it
business.
that way, right? But big business.
Big business.
All right, so we're interested in talking with you. If you're interested in doing something with the show, we didn't get a chance to talk too much about what's going on right now. The Board of Supervisors at the moment, in addition to talking about the Burger King, they are right now hearing from officials with the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Did you hear about this? That CHOP is interested in developing the Old Valley Forge Golf Course near where the Wegmans is, that property. And they want to build a 140-some thousand square foot facility. Wow. So this could be very exciting that CHOP is coming to King of Prussia. They've got a small location, a specialty location near the mall, a much smaller outpatient facility. But they're interested in developing that, and that could be a whole bunch of jobs here in King of Prussia. So we'll be staying on top of that as well. A few other quick items to speak of. You may have seen on our Facebook page there was an attempted, what the police are calling an attempted luring of a child. I guess you could call it would that be the same as an attempted abduction? The kid is fine. The kid is okay. The kid did the right thing. The kid ran off, told his mother, and the police were involved. But there is a description of the man on our Facebook page, and I saw that on the Supervisor Supervisor Greg Wax's Facebook page had a link to it, so I figured we would pass that along, and maybe we'll get an update on that in the coming weeks, and hopefully they figure out what's going on with that as well. The Tricentennial Gala that happened, I guess it was on Saturday. We were not able to attend. I had other commitments, but it's my understanding everyone had a very nice time. So if you had the opportunity to attend the Upper Marion Township 300th anniversary party, we'd love to hear from you. Maybe post some of your photographs on the Facebook. And I need a drink of water, but I didn't bring my water bottle because this week was the big no, I don't want your used one, thank you. That's not what I was driving at. That wasn't what well, after the big deal they made about what's his name, Marco Rubio, Senator Rubio took a glass of I didn't see it. It's my understanding it was a whole big deal about nothing, but he did look very awkward. Is that, Abe, is that a good assessment?
Absolutely.
The biggest non-story of the year. That's why most news media are pretty much irrelevant, because while the world's going to we'll clean it up here. The world's going down the tubes. Everyone's leading with a guy drinking a bottle of water. However, it's my understanding he looked ridiculous doing it. So I'm fair and balanced, but I can't say fair and balanced because that's a service mark of Rupert Murdoch. I don't want to get on Rupert's bad side. He could buy and sell us and
Squashes.
break change for $1. What else is happening? Is that about it? There are plenty of other things going on.
The trivia.
But we're not. Oh, that's right. Thank you. Trivia question, King of Prussia. Well, if nobody's calling in though right now, though, how's this going to work? You answer it on the Facebook page then.
There you go.
All right, first person to correctly answer on the Facebook page, our weekly King of Prussia trivia question. Real easy one for you tonight. This was Abe's idea. Not to make it easy, but the question was his idea. What was the name of King of Prussia and King of Prussia's post office prior to its being changed to King of Prussia in 1850? Easy one for you this week. So if you want to call in right now, 337-TALK. If you don't call in, put it up on the Facebook page. I guess we need to start a thread on the Facebook for that, so we'll do that.
Yep.
You'll win a $20 Astera Video Productions gift certificate. So if you've got a whole stack of film, of Punxsutawney Phil, you've got
Your wedding, your bar mitzvah,
right? You've got events
graduation.
that are on VHS cassettes, and you want to put them on the
DVD.
the DVDs,
The disc.
or even if you want to put them right on a thumb drive.
Yes.
Tony's all about that. He even knows how to use the YouTube video network. So
That's right.
he's all about the YouTube. So you get in on that. His
Chime
number is 337-0871, right? 610-337. He's been showing off this iPhone. He's all excited about it. It just looks like a brick with an apple on it.
Yeah.
But it works.
Powerful tool.
It works, and it's made your
My
life.
phone gets forwarded here, so my.
But not right now. He has the ringer disabled for broadcast purposes, right? All right, I know we need to wrap this up. I believe, let's see, a few quick things. March 9th, I believe, is a Saturday. I just learned about this. The Audubon Ale House, right on the other side of the river from Port Kennedy. The Audubon Ale House is holding a benefit, I believe, during the daytime on Saturday the 9th, and I'll have more information as it comes to me, to benefit the staff of the Valley Forge Beef and Ale. You may have heard Valley Forge Beef and Ale unfortunately had a devastating fire this past weekend over on Trooper Road. And so I guess a lot of folks are out of work right now because of that situation. So they're holding a benefit which I thought was a very classy move on part of the ale house. I guess, you know, they're competitors, but a situation arises like that. So feel free to make it out to that. Perhaps we'll be there for that as well. Tony, I think we're getting the signal that we need to wrap this up, right, Abe? Has it been a full hour? Have we really been speaking for an hour?
Wow, time flies.
I used to do overnight radio with no calls. I could do 6 more if you need me to, but I don't feel like it tonight. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Thanks to Abe Holtz behind the scenes, putting all of this together. We'll see you on the Facebook social network. Find us at facebook.com/KOPTV. This is George Brewstar alongside Tony Seligson on the new KOPTV, the King of Prussia channel. If you missed any portion of this program, it will repeat.